Welcome to the Dummy Kruger channel, everyone. Today's video takes us to Colorado Springs, Colorado to check in on Denver Metro Cardigan's latest attempt and failure to get a man charged with a petty crime. There are going to be two main components to this video. First is that DMC likes to bill himself as an anarchist, specifically an anarcho-capitalist. An anarcho-capitalist advocates for a society where there is no government intervention in economic or personal affairs. In essence, they argue for a stateless society where private property rights are upheld, that there should be no government, and that there are no crimes unless there is loss, injury, or harm. For the sake of this video, let's look past the possibilities of exploitation, inequality, lack of social safety nets, monopolies, vigilantism, no national defense, and the practicality of implementing such a system that revolves around everyone acting in a rational and mutually beneficial behavior. Let's just focus on the crime aspect of such a system. In this offshoot system of anarchy, disputes among individuals would be managed by private individuals or organizations in the event of situations leading to loss, injury, or harm. There would be no centralized government on law enforcement. This is important because DMC has reached out to the government on multiple occasions asking them to lock people up for, wait for it, annoying him. More on that later. The other component of the video will illustrate that DMC has, in fact, committed the same actions he accused others of, impacting several citizens since the inception of his YouTube channel. This anarchist has run the daddy government more than the biggest bootlicker to ever lick a boot. The setup for the video is DMC calling a detective trying to get charges pressed against a man that calls himself Ginger. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, and comment below. Let's jump right in.
So I reviewed the video. So do you have a minute?
Sure.
Okay, so I guess first things first. Talking about this customer, let's call him RJ right now. So kind of the main sticking point, and it's not captured, but I can read between the lines. I think it's clear enough to know that he moved your camera out of the way. He moved your phone or camera. Which one was it, by the way?
It was my camera and phone. I had a tripod.
Okay. Camera and phone. And I kind of see, more or less what I see so far is there's an admission of some sort where, now he's saying he moved it to get it out of his face. Can we talk about that in a little bit more detail? Like how close?
Let's now take a quick look at the first interaction between DMC and Ginger, the one where Ginger apparently moves DMC's camera. Before we get to that, if anyone is curious about today's logo, I figured if DMC can play pretend anarchist, so can I.
We got people talking to me.
Hey, turn on. He's got a minor child, dude. Come on.
Hey, man.
Come on, dude.
He started a conversation with me, dude.
Yeah, you can't have a conversation without filming it?
Oh, hey, what are you doing, man?
You're
Don't touch
filming
my
me?
camera, bro. What's wrong with you?
You asshole. Hey. Why are you being so disruptive, you asshole? It's cool.
Later in the video, Ginger admits to moving the camera out of the way so he can look DMC directly in the eyes. Because Ginger touched his camera, DMC now wants this man charged with a crime and thrown in the government-run dungeon like any other good anarchist would try to do. DMC did this exact same thing months ago at a town council meeting in Sheridan, Colorado.
You
want to go get that?
Yeah, I do. Speak to you first. Don't film me.
Hey, what are you doing, lady?
Oh, I'm standing in front of your
No, you're bumping into it. You can't do that.
Touch me.
That's harassment, ma'am. That's harassment.
Did it?
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
CRS 18-K-111. That's harassment, ma'am. Unwanted touch.
Here, our cardigan-wearing anarchist wants this woman locked up for CSR 18-9-111, the same charge he tried to get Ginger booked on.
But before I issue that citation, there is an intent component.
Yeah.
Can you help me with that?
Sure. Yeah. So a couple things on that. Even if you don't have it, I know you don't see it on my footage, but there is security cams that I'm sure would show bird's eye view of that. And then, so yeah, there's a few different incidences of harassment that happened that day. Number one, the touching of my camera, which, like you said, he did admit to doing that. And first of all, he said that I was trying to get out of my face. Well, he literally was the one that walked right up to me. I didn't walk up to him. He walked up to me and then moved my camera out of the way. So I didn't stick my camera in his face. I could understand that if I walked right up to him and literally stuck my camera in his face. Of course, that would be me harassing him.
DMC does have a point here because Ginger did walk up to him and admittedly moved his camera, something I'm guessing Ginger regrets. But was it a crime? The closest portion of the law that could even be a possibility is under subsection 1A. It reads, a person commits harassment if, with the intent to harass, annoy, or alarm another person, he or she A. strikes, shoves, kicks, or otherwise touches a person or subjects him to physical contact. Even for a fake anarchist, trying to charge someone for moving a camera a couple of inches out of the way seems like a stretch.
Since the camera is an extension of me, that's unwanted touching.
In CSR 18-9-111, it doesn't mention anything about, quote, unwanted touching, even though DMC mentions this on multiple occasions to the detective.
And then not only that, but he got in my face several times, as you saw in the video, with, like I said,
What
the
does that
intent.
mean to you? Tell me
Well,
what does that mean to you
was,
if you're using that?
yeah, I was intimidated. So I told him, hey, this is your warning. I will defend myself. I didn't know if he was going to, he already used physical violence on me.
Physical violence, he says. Let's take one more quick look at that.
Conversation without filming it?
Oh, hey, what are you doing, man?
You're
Don't touch
filming
my
me?
camera, bro. What's wrong with you?
Oh, the trauma he must be going through.
Once, and he kept continuing to get in my face, so I was scared for my safety.
Right.
I don't know this man. He's much larger than me. So, that's textbook harassment right there.
So DMC claims to the detective that he was scared. Let's see if that looks to be the case, shall we?
This is why you don't do drugs. Because you'll end up losing.
Yeah, tell him that he grabbed my camera, man.
I moved your camera because I wanted to have a conversation with you.
Okay.
When I talk
Thank
to
you
people,
for
I like to
admitting
look. When I talk to people, I like to look them in the eye.
Look at him, guys. Look how close he is to me. Look.
When I talk to people, I like to look them in the eye.
For someone claiming to be scared, DMC stood toe-to-toe with Ginger, never backing away or even acting intimidated whatsoever. But not only that, let's take another look at the last few seconds, because when he switches the camera to his other hand, he actually looks to be leaning in towards Ginger, not away.
When I talk to people, I like to look them in the eye.
Look at him,
guys.
Look how close he is to me. Look.
When I talk to people, I like to look them in the eye.
It's my opinion he's actually moving closer to Ginger in this instance to make it look worse than it actually is. Either way, he still doesn't act intimidated, like he claims.
Harass, annoy, or alarm. So that intent has to be there. And what would you say? Which one or all three? Which one would you say fits best?
They all three fit. He was harassing, he was trying to alarm me, and he was trying to annoy me.
Interesting. Remember, the intent to harass, annoy, or alarm. Let's take a look back to a few months ago where an incident took place at the DMV because a citizen had the audacity to ask DMC to stop recording him while he was taking care of his business.
Thank you, man. Appreciate your time.
Alrighty, have a good day. Are we ready to go then?
I think we're ready to go. Let's follow this fine gentleman out. Go ahead, man. I'll follow you. I'm going to turn this off.
You're turning it off?
Oh, then my gimbal because it's too windy.
Oh, shit.
Okay, let's go. Okay, guys, so we're just going to follow this douchebag, freedom hater right here, and just get his plate.
So you're going to follow him to obtain his plates? Why? Would that be to alarm him or annoy him? And right out of his mouth, he said he wanted to follow this man in a public space.
And not only that, but actually a subsection C of the harassment statute, when you follow someone around in a public place with the intent to alarm or annoy, that is harassment. He was following me around every single place that I went in the entire area there.
Well, wouldn't you know it? It looks like he was right. Subsection C says, a person commits harassment if, with the intent to harass, annoy, or alarm another person, he or she, subsection C, follows a person in or about a public place. But isn't that... I feel like, yeah, he's doing that exact thing right now. Just watch.
Hey guys, so we're just gonna follow this douchebag, freedom hater right here, and just get his plate. He's smart enough not to go to his car.
Oh, well, good.
So we'll just hang out here and wait for him.
Go right ahead.
Awesome.
I'll be leaving. Yes, have a nice day.
Oh, you don't want
Oh, you have a nice day too.
Enjoy exercising, you're right.
We will. He's embarrassed. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We tried to wait for that guy to get his plate, but he just kept walking around the building. We've been here for like almost 30 minutes now, so.
So from his own mouth and evidenced on camera, he admits to following this man for the sole purpose of obtaining his license plate to put it on the internet. Again, I have to ask why. It sure seems to me like he is intentionally trying to alarm this man, and it sure as hell is annoying.
Okay. And then, okay, what about the annoy? What about that fitting in?
Repeatedly coming up to someone. I went in there with a specific purpose to take pictures of the public accessible area, grab some pamphlets. I had my own business to conduct, and he was disrupting my business by continually walking up to me, harassing, yelling, grabbing my camera, stuff like that. So that was annoying me and disrupting my business.
Well, that would be annoying. But let's take a look back at yet another incident where Denver Metro Cardigan is seemingly doing the exact same thing to yet another private citizen who is actually trying to do business.
Yeah, he has like a goatee, he has a little mohawk right there. No, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. He's been here a lot longer. Oh, yeah? Have you seen him at all? I'm not here to start no shit, my man. I'm just here looking for a warrant.
No, man, I ain't helping you, man.
Okay, for sure, brother. But alright, man, I appreciate you. Thanks, sir. Okay, thank you. I'm here within my legal rights, my man. Jacob,
I never said that you weren't within your legal rights. I just said I wasn't gonna help you. That's all.
That's fine, man.
Don't get all hurt over it.
Nah, if you just want to be a punk, that's on you, bro.
Oh, want to be a punk? Who do you work for?
Absolutely.
Who do you work for?
I'm a bail recovery agent. Thank you.
You work for the government?
I'm a bail recovery agent.
Bail recovery agent?
I'm
That's
not
how
a
you
cop.
talk to
I don't have to
people?
deal with you,
That's
bro.
how you talk to people who are exercising their rights?
I'm not a cop. I don't got to do anything with you, my brother.
Yeah, but look at how you talk to people, man.
I'm not a cop.
Yeah,
I
call
don't
me a
care how I
punk.
talk
You're a
to you.
fucking punk,
I don't
bud.
have standards.
You're a fucking punk.
Thank you, brother.
Oof. Is that following another person in a public space? According to DMC, that is breaking the law.
And so because I'm a punk, because I'm recording, is that you're
close to me and you're
because
behind me when I have a gun on my hip, man. I don't know who you are. It's my only thing. Why you gotta get so close when I got a gun?
I wasn't close to you, man. I wasn't close to you.
Yes, you were, bro. You were breathing distance behind me. That's why my.
It's a small area, bro. It's a small area.
You were close.
I can come out. I can be in.
Now let's remember, per his call with the detective, one of the reasons he wants Ginger charged with this CRS was because he walked up to him and got too close.
No, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. He's been here a lot longer. Oh, yeah? Have you seen him at all? I'm not here to start no shit, my man. I'm just here looking for a warrant.
No, man, I ain't helping you, man.
Okay, for sure, brother. But alright, man, I appreciate you. Thanks, sir. Okay, thank you. I'm here within my legal rights, my man. Jacob,
I never said that you weren't within your legal rights. I just said I wasn't gonna help you. That's all.
That's fine, man.
Don't get all hurt over it.
So not only was he following him in public, which seems to be a big no-no per DMC, but he seemed awfully close to me. Was that meant to harass, annoy, or alarm?
Yeah. I called you all kinds of. I called you a punk ass bitch, all kinds of stuff. Because the way you're acting, bro. Because the way you're acting.
Here, and then this dude comes out, he starts following me, calling me a fucker, he's screaming in front of everybody, just talking to me.
Yep. It's free speech, bud.
Yeah, you can't be screaming.
Free speech. I can scream in public. I can scream in public. I can scream in public. It's not called disorderly conduct.
You know what? He's probably right. I wouldn't call that disorderly conduct either. I wonder what it would fall under. Surely not his favorite statute, right? I mean, we've already covered following someone in a public space, which he did here for 20 minutes. He's also claimed getting too close to someone can cause annoyance or alarm, yet we've seen him do just that. Anything else? Anything about repeatedly calling him a dumbass bitch and a fucking douchebag? Again, it reads, a person commits harassment if, with the intent to harass, annoy, or alarm another person, he or she, in a public space, directs obscene language or makes an obscene gesture to another person.
Yeah, I called you all kinds of, I called you a punk ass bitch, all kinds of stuff. Because the way you're acting, bro, because the way you're acting.
Oops. But if that's not enough, let's go all the way down here to H. Repeatedly insults, taunts, challenges, or makes communications in offensively coarse language to another in a manner likely to provoke a violent or disorderly response. You see, DMC, if you're going to constantly accuse people of committing crimes per this harassment CSR, you have to read the entire statute. Otherwise, people will start to believe you are a fraud, or even worse, a fake anarchist. But he wasn't quite done yet.
I'm not being a dick. I'm not taking guys with warrants that are judged like that.
So all I said was I wasn't going to help you in your investigation. That's it. And you got a big old attitude. You got a big old attitude with me, man. All I said was I wasn't going to help you with your investigation. You got all f***ing rude and you're throwing a hissy fit.
Look, I wasn't disrespectful.
Yeah, you were totally disrespectful. Why do you think I called you? Why did I call you a punk? Why did I call you a punk? Because you're being disrespectful to me, bro. Right?
So, I know you're still filming me?
Yeah.
Harassment.
Because that's not harassment, man. I know what harassment is. All right, cops are here, guys.
You do know the harassment statute? Are you sure? Or do you just know it when trying to get others charged?
Kind of built for all. What up, man? I'm in Denver. Oh, no, it's not a cop. So we're waiting for Denver PD, I guess, apparently.
Yeah, giving away people's public information, that's really harassment. That's not a cop.
So I'm harassing because I'm giving away. It's publicly displayed. You know that, right? It's not harassment, man. It's publicly displayed.
It is publicly displayed, but what is his intention of doing it? When the video was originally released, he read the plate aloud and didn't blur it out. He also put this man's full name and phone number on his YouTube page for his viewers to do with it what they please, resulting in multiple phone calls from his followers. Was reading his plate aloud or posting this man's information done to intentionally harass, alarm, or annoy? I can't think of another reason.
So, look, I want to be, again, transparent. I'm just a little stuck on that intent, okay? I get it. I hear you. The touching, yeah.
I know one thing, Sergeant Dyer, if I had gone to him and I got right in his face and I grabbed his phone or something that he was holding, the police would have been called and I would have been arrested for that.
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
And as you know, I got arrested for trespassing there, which is a public space. I can record in there. That's going to be a huge mistake that corporal made. And I was literally the only one acting reasonable in that facility, and I was the one that ended up leaving in handcuffs. And like I said, I left there for a lawful activity. You can't trespass from a public space.
I see he's still going with that tried and true line. He's also said the officers in his 3 previous arrests also made huge mistakes, but yet he was convicted all 3 times. Weird.
You know, as you know, justice is supposed to be blind, and we get discriminated against all the time.
Well, and I'm trying to, look, I know what you do, and I'm not commenting on that. That is your business, obviously. That is absolutely your business. But I want to be legit. I mean, if you're charged with this, I would want to charge someone else the same thing. I got to tell you, I would normally not charge this. I'm looking a little closely to make sure I'm not missing something. You're talking about Sergeant Dyer here. I would normally not charge this. I wouldn't put this much effort in it because I don't think we're there because of the intent.
This I actually had an issue with. What is the rationale behind the sergeant dedicating a greater amount of time and attention to the assertions being made by DMC as opposed to the claims put forth by another individual? Is it because he has a YouTube channel? Recall, he said this right before the sergeant made that statement.
as you know, justice is supposed to be blind, and
That's correct. So why isn't the sergeant not seeing that by making his previous statement? Not only that, it clearly didn't bother DMC that the sergeant said this either, which is interesting coming from a self-proclaimed civil rights activist.
No, we're good. All right, let me see what I can do now. I want to move to, so let me tell you my steps right now. So I really hope I get his information today. This has been, I've been on a couple of days off, but it was the weekend, so it was already Memorial Day anyway. So I'm pressing hard because I need to get that name so I can talk to this guy. I'm going to go ahead and kick out a quick email to him. That may just speed up the thing because he'll probably want to talk to me. Who knows? Maybe not. So I'll give him a shout.
So shortly after this call, the sergeant did reach out to Ginger via email. This is what Ginger had to say about that on a live stream with the YouTube channel Auditor Troll.
So Ginger, do you want to elaborate on as soon as you heard that the cops wanted to talk to you?
Sure. Yeah, I think I was on my way to a 420 little 9-hole golf league, and it was probably 3:55. I was sitting on the interstate, and I saw an email come from a police officer, and I think within 30 seconds of receiving the email, I'd emailed that person back. Probably waited 1 minute for a reply to my reply when I didn't get that reply. So now we're talking maybe up to 2 minutes after me getting the email. I called the police station, which is strangely not the station closest to where this event happened. But I called and I got patched through to the officer, and it just happened to be pretty close to where I was at. I texted my buddies and blew off the 420 tea time and was in that guy's office within 16 to 20 minutes of being reached out to, of receiving the email.
So this live stream took place on September 12th of this year, and at the time, Ginger still wasn't sure if he would be charged yet. Per a source that spoke with Ginger, the investigation into this has been officially closed with no charges pending. Ginger gave me the go-ahead to release this update.
I am stuck on that, just that intent portion, okay?
all right, yeah, Sergeant.
Be honest.
Yeah, and you know what, man? I want to like you. I really do. And it's just, I'm telling you, man, it's clear as day. His intent was to come up and intimidate me. I specifically told him I feel threatened, back up, and, he continued on. The intent's there, and I'm pretty sure a jury would agree with that too. So I hope that you do what's right, and so that I can highlight you guys. I've given tons of praise to Falcon Division.
All what you're saying now is I got to tell you, it's got to be irrelevant. I can't be swayed or I want to like you too. Right. But here's the deal. I'm either going to find it or not. And I told you I'm struggling with it because that intent portion, it ain't got to do with liking each other, man. You know that. I want to respect you, want you to respect me. But in the end, man, I'm going to do my job. And if you out me, you got to do what you got to do. I understand that. But it ain't about liking.
Check out the bootlicker trying so hard to get charges pressed against this man. He basically said, if you bring charges, I'll like you and even highlight you on my channel. But if not, well, you'll get the treatment the man received at the apartment building. That, once again, doesn't feel like blind justice. Alright guys, that was the end of the phone call. But before we let DMC take us out today, please remember to subscribe, like, and comment below. Take us out, tough guy.
Is that the police station over there?
I guess so.
Yeah, but I don't want you following me around. Are you required to follow me around?
We're not breaking the law, man. Stop following us, bro.
I can walk around anywhere I want.
You don't want to know what harassment is? It's CRS 18-9-111. It's following someone around in a public place with the intent to alarm or annoy. So I'm telling you right now that I don't appreciate you following me around. So if you continue to do so, you're going to be harassing me.
Okay.
You understood? You can't follow someone around in a public place with the intent to alarm or annoy. And I'm telling you right now that you're annoying me by following me around in a public place.